Get some 8% seltzer shipped right to your house. We got the peach, we got the watermelon, we got the pina colada, and the blue raspberry. We are currently live in over 300 stores in Tennessee, Alabama, Georgia, Florida, the Outer Banks in North Carolina. And if you're heading out to the Major League ballparks this summer, make sure to check us out in Miami Marlins Stadium, as well as Tropicana Field, home to the Tampa Bay Rays, as well as the Tampa Bay Rowdies. We are live inside all three stadiums. So if you're down in Florida this year, check us out. Go to hardafseltzer.com today and check your store locator or order them right to your house.
Welcome to Drinking Bros, presented by GhostBed.com.
Yeah, welcome to the NFL Week 12 Pick'em Show, brought to you by MyBookie.com. Promo code Drinkin' Bros doubles your first deposit all the way up to $1,000. D'Anthony, Mickey Gall is on the phone right now, and I told him, let's just, since you're here and we're about to start the show, just make one random Thanksgiving Day NFL pick for us. Mickey, you watching the games on Thursday?
Of course.
All right. I'm going to give you...
Hey, this is my first appearance on Drinkin' Bros. Hopefully in a week or two when I'm out there, you get to see me in person.
Yes, you're definitely going to be...
lovely fans.
You're definitely going to be on the show. It's going to be rad. We're looking forward to it. We're going to UFC together. I'm going to give you one game, one pick right now. I know you got to go, and we got a show to do. Packers at the Lions to lead off Turkey Day. This is Detroit, minus 7.5 at home. Who you got?
I got Lions. Lions all day there.
I'm going Lions too. I'm going to go Lions too. All right, Mickey, one pick. I love you. I'll call you later after the shows are over today.
All right. Love you guys. Later.
Bye, buddy. Boom. You never know what you're going to get around here, dude. You never know. And I'm like, let's go. Let's just make a pick to start off the show. Welcome, kids. Look, lost some money last night. Not real happy about it. You know the rules here. We go over last week's picks, what we got wrong, what we got right. I did a lot of right this weekend. I hit a 5-game teaser. Daddy's back. Won about 1,400 and then dropped 300 on last night's game. Look, since it was the game of the year here, let's chat about it. We were all watching it. We were on the thread together. I don't know how they lost this game other than drop passes here for the Chiefs. The Chiefs look pretty goddamn dominant throughout the game here. But what do you do? This is something I've said, I've talked about most of the year. It's shocking to see it when they're that wide open. You're like, what the fuck? How did you drop that pass? 5 drops last night.
Yeah, it was a dirty, dirty game.
It was ugly, wasn't it? I felt it was hard to watch. Chiefs should have won this by 2 touchdowns. I was even pouring over the stats. Whenever you go through a loss like this that you can't really figure out, you're like, all right, well, maybe there's something hidden in the numbers here that I missed. So I'll read these aloud. First downs. Chiefs 23, Eagles only 16. 16 first downs in the whole game. Third down efficiency. Eagles 3 for 11. 3 for 11. They won the fucking game. Chiefs 8 for 17. Normal. Fourth down. 2 for 3 for the Chiefs. 0 for the Eagles. Never went for it there, which is surprising. I thought one of those tush pushes was on that. Total plays. This was the stat that blew me away last night. Chiefs total plays, 74. Eagles, 54.
Yeah.
Chiefs had 20 more plays on offense. I mean, what the fuck, bro?
Well, what it came down to, one, is the lack of execution on the part of the Chiefs, right? Their receivers are bad. Travis Kelce had the worst game I've seen him have.
Ever.
And not just overall statistically. He's had worse games there, but I've never seen him give the ball up in a big moment like that either. But what it came down to was when it's the NFL, right? Everybody's good.
Yeah.
Not everybody. The Giants suck, but everybody's good, right? So you're going to have 3 and outs. You're going to have short drives that don't go anywhere, and you got to deal with that. The question is twofold. One, can you get enough threefold, I guess. Can you get good field position with your defense? That's part of it. And your special teams. 2 is can you get 4 or 5 multi-series drives in one game? And then 2, how often can you capitalize that and take it all the way down the field? The Eagles were more consistent when they had a good drive, when they had a good matchup or whatever was going on, of executing 4, 5, 6, 7 plays on that drive and scoring a touchdown. And the Chiefs, when the moment came up big, so they had one interception was the 9th play of that drive. That's fucking brutal. For the 9th play of a drive, like you're down on the Eagles 14, the Chiefs. Yep. They're in the red zone. Interception. Another time they're in the red zone. Fumble.
7-yard line. Kelsey fumbles on the 7.
That's 14 points off. This wiped off the board. At a minimum, it's 6 points wiped off the board, and they still win this game, right?
Yeah.
At a minimum. So it's like That's why what Bob and fucking Delco always talk about. The margins in the NFL are so slim because you get 7, 8, 9 opportunities to go on a drive. Only about half of those are going to be good drives, probably statistically, even if you're having a good day. And then you either execute in the red zone or you don't.
Yeah.
And that's how the games end up like this. It's not a mystery, really. It just you expect more out of the Chiefs. They don't have any good receivers, but you expect more out of Mahomes and Kelsey. Not that Mahomes did anything wrong. I'm just saying
that interception was a bad interception in my opinion. There was nobody close to that.
And listen, the Chiefs just couldn't get enough ticky-tack calls to move down the field.
So I listened to Eagles fans and Chiefs fans. We have a lot of Chiefs fans listeners too who were bitching about the calls on both sides here. So I looked that up too. As far as the penalties go, couldn't be more even. Eagles, 7 penalties for 61 yards. Chiefs, 7 penalties for 55 yards.
Yeah, but the Eagles had
were third downs.
The Eagles had 3 drives with 7 or more plays, and they scored touchdowns on every one of them. That's the difference.
But if I would have told you before this game started that the Eagles would have 238 total yards and beat the Chiefs, I'd say you're fucking crazy. That's exactly what they had. Chiefs had 100 more total yards than them. Time of possession, 32 minutes for the Chiefs, 28 minutes for the Eagles. There wasn't one statistical category except for turnovers. Eagles had 1. Chiefs had 2, and that was it. And I guess that was the difference in the game ultimately. I felt watching it that Kelsey's fumble there cost them the game. Is at that point, Chiefs go up by 2 scores and it's over. He looked bad last night because even on the next drive, because they still had a chance to win that game. Next drive, he drops a pass. And then the MVS drop for 55 yards wide open in the end zone.
Kelsey
Nuts
catches the next ball, though, on 4th down.
He does, but it's at that point, what does he have, 20 yards? I think he's got less than 50 yards total combined in the last 2 games.
Yeah.
Something's up with him.
Well,
I've never seen him play this bad.
Big players show up in big moments, really. That's what you pay them the money for, right? It isn't about – nobody gives a fuck if Mahomes throws for 6,000 yards this year. They care if on the 2-minute drill can he fucking put the ball in the end zone, right?
Yep.
Nobody gives a shit about – from the general management perspective and the people whose job it is to win games, they don't care about all that glamour bullshit. They care about executing when it matters. So, yeah, Philly had 1 pick. It was with the game tied in the first quarter at midfield. All right, cool. That sucks, but it could be a lot worse.
Right.
When you have 2 turnovers in the fucking red zone like that, that is crippling, right? It's crippling because your defense is over there with a little bit of serotonin in their body. They're like, oh, good, we're about to fucking score. We're going to get some space here. Motivates them to go back out there. And then they're like, fuck. Now we've got to get out here and defend, right? I think it's a huge psychological burden for people when you turn the ball over in the fucking red zone. Or even if you get down there and don't score at all. I think it's a problem. But it's way worse when you turn the ball over. You just can't do that shit. But it's a regular season too, right? So who fucking cares?
I look at it, man. I look at these Chiefs receivers here. Justin Watson was your leading receiver last night. I don't even know where he's from. It's the white kid. It's the white dude who kept dropping balls on it. He dropped that 4th and 25 right in his fucking hands there at the end of the game. That was over. He had 53 yards, and he was your leading receiver in this game. Travis Kelce, as I mentioned, was under 50 yards there at 44.
Justin Watson, Ivy League educated.
Where do you go to Penn? That's why you never heard of him. Rashee Rice, whoever the fuck that is. Just across the board here. And then I brought this up in Drinkin Bros Sports. As I said years ago about Rodgers, and I guess it's the same that would apply with Mahomes. Mahomes took so much money that I guess they just can't pay any receivers because they're not drafting any, and they're not.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't draft any, but who was available in free agency this year? Julio Jones? Like, he hasn't been consistently good.
Take DeAndre Hopkins. That was somebody in the offseason.
They would have had to trade for him, right? They don't. What picks did they have?
No, so they didn't end up having to trade for him. It came down to a contract issue, and Tennessee offered the most amount of money. He went to Tennessee. He's stuck in Tennessee. But, yeah, man, as far as free agents go, no money. Draft picks. I mean, draft picks, there's a ton of wide receivers in the drafts. You can get great picks late. Chris Olave went at the end of the first round one year. Like, they're there. They're just not taking them. Same with Green Bay, and it's the same problem. Remember, Rodgers would always bitch where it was like, bro, can you fucking just draft one first-round wide receiver for me? Like, this is crazy at this point. Because the Chiefs have the rest of it. Defense is fucking good, man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they got Uzoma in the first round last year.
Who is that?
Edge rusher for out of K-State for the Chiefs. And then in round 2, they got Rashee Rice. So that guy, Rashee.
Oh, Rashee Rice is their second-round pick.
He was their second-round pick. He's all right. He's a good second-rounder. But it's like...
We'll find out. He went to SMU.
Yeah, I just don't know. I don't know, man. They've... if you remember when they got blown up in that fucking Super Bowl a couple of years ago... It was because
by Tampa.
Yeah, it was because their offensive line fucking sucked.
Right.
Tampa Bay, like I love Brady and all, whatever, GOAT, but they would have had no shot in that game if KC had an offensive line. They would have gotten fucking hammered because this is still Tyreek Hill, Kelsey, period. With I don't think Kareem Hunt was still on the team. I think he was. I think
he was gone by then.
He left 2019 or something.
No,
but
it didn't really matter.
Like on the field and the skill position, it was the best offense in the fucking NFL, and there was no question about that. But the left side, especially their offensive line, his blind side, Mahomes' blind side, was fucked. Mm-hmm. So I understand you got to go out and make those draft picks because the only way you're getting great offensive linemen is in the first round of drafts. You're not trading for them because nobody gives them up, and you're not fucking signing them for free agency because they get signed to long-term deals.
Yep.
And they only last in the league about 10 years, too. 10 or 11, I think.
Yeah, it's brutal on your knees,
so it's
especially
like,
that kind of weight.
I get it, and it's the economics of football. I mean, if you're Mahomes and they just won a Super Bowl, so there's leeway there, right? If you're Mahomes and the reason you don't win this year or next year is because of your lack of receivers, you got to think about restructuring that deal. You have to. Right?
I agree, man. And because I'm watching him last night and some of the plays he's making, I mean, this is truly probably the greatest quarterback we've seen in our lives, and in my lifetime at least, that I've seen where it's just, God damn it, man. He's able to throw to any spots, run to any spots, improv, do all the things. And it was interesting. Tom Brady did an interview this morning, and he said the identical thing that we said on this show 2 weeks ago, where he just said the NFL has just become a league of mediocrity right now.
Yeah.
And watching that game last night, God damn it, when you have the most mediocre receivers on the planet with the best quarterback, it's frustrating to see where you're just like, fuck, dude, I wonder what that guy could be. But that's also what we thought about Brady all those years in New England. Until he actually got a great wide receiver and they went undefeated.
And he threw 50 fucking touchdowns.
Yeah.
Right? That's a lot of touchdowns.
A lot of touchdowns.
Yeah,
a lot of touchdowns.
It's, they still didn't win in the playoffs, right? But that was kind of fluky.
Who?
The Patriots, when Moss was there, they didn't win.
Well, they lost in the Super Bowl that year to go undefeated, which was, look.
But that is what it is.
Yeah,
it's hard,
it's hard to Eli
win.
Manning's miracle bullshit that he was able to pull off twice against the Patriots to do it. But
it shows you, like, teams, what the Patriots did being consistently good over the course of let's call it 15 years, right? They won 5 Super Bowls in 15 years?
7.
No, 6.
6,
yeah, because he won one with Tampa.
Correct,
so they won 6 in 15 years. Robert Kraft is the best owner of all time, and Bill Belichick is the best coach, GM of all time. Mm-hmm. And nobody can fucking make a case otherwise, because you see now, it's always been like this. Nobody's ever three-peated before in the modern era. Mm-hmm. Like, you see how hard it is to win back-to-back, and these motherfuckers, and not just win back-to-back, but to carry a franchise consistently over the course of fucking a decade and a half, and win 6 Super Bowls and be in, 3 other ones? I think they lost.
Yeah, they lost 3, yeah.
as well. So it's like 7 out of half of the seasons you were in this. It's like LeBron numbers. Half of the seasons you were in the finals, and you won more than half of those. Like, holy shit, dude. That's insane to even think about. So I can't entertain the idea that anybody's any better than Belichick ever until somebody does something similar to that.
Yeah, right? and look, we'll find out. The Chiefs can still win it all this year, and they're somehow able to always pull it off in the playoffs.
Yeah.
It's just a frustrating team during the regular season.
Well,
here.
Andy Reid is the best coach in football right now.
It's weird you say that, man, because I was just going to bring this up for Chiefs fans. 2 things that stood out to me last night. I saw Andy Reid yelling at Patrick Mahomes as if he was a rookie on his first day. He told him to shut the fuck up and stop it over some play call or a timeout or whatever. And I actually like seeing that. Where, look, you could look at Pat Mahomes as this otherworldly quarterback, and still he's like, no, man, we're in the fucking game here. You need to get your shit together. Whatever the fuck's going on, knock it off. Usually a coach doesn't yell at a superstar like that. It was cool to see, and I didn't know Andy Reid fucking yelled, to be honest with you. He always looks like this happy little walrus guy. I didn't know he yelled like that.
It's like I can see him yelling. I can understand that conceptually. But the lung capacity to be able to do it, right? After all of those fucking chili dogs. How many chili he used to be over there with you guys. How many
cheesesteaks?
Yeah, how many chili dogs a day do you think fucking Andy Reid's having?
Well, probably more in Kansas City.
Exactly, right.
Oh,
like
yeah.
it's only gotten worse for him. Oof. There was only cheesesteaks there. Now there's burn-ins, there's fucking chili dogs, there's all kinds of bullshit over there.
Oh yeah, pizza in Philly, you had cheesesteaks, you had sandwiches.
Great food in Philly.
I don't want to hear about Philly pizza, man. Come on.
It's right there.
No, it's in the corridor, and New York's got the pizza.
I side with Delco on this.
That's like living in Wheeling, West Virginia, and saying you're from Pittsburgh. I don't want to hear that shit.
No, some of the best pizza. Some of the best pizza I've had was in New Jersey too.
Yeah,
so
Jersey,
I'll give it to
Philly,
you. Yep.
and
This is
New
that
York.
I know what the
area.
tri-state is. I'm just saying, like, Philly is not. You don't get to claim pizza. We're not doing this. No,
I'll give it to you. I'll allow it.
Let's look
I
up the
like
best
it.
pizza places in the country and see if any of them are in Philly.
No, the one is actually in Arizona. Remember we went.
Oh, that's right. That place was not that great.
Bianco's. It was pretty good.
It was okay.
It was
If you
pretty
go
good.
off Portnoy scale, there's a lot of good Philly and Pennsylvania spots.
Yeah. Look, Philly's got great food. But the other thing for Chiefs fans that I loved seeing last night was I watched Mahomes' presser afterwards.
Actually, the number one, according to this list on Food and Wine, is Pizzeria Vetri in Philly.
Is it really? Mm-hmm. Wow,
and then
look at
A16 Rock Ridge in Oakland. I've been there. That place is fucking dope.
that. Okay.
Anyways.
But I watched that Mahomes presser afterwards last night, and it was cool to watch because he was like, look, they were asking about the drop balls and stuff, and he goes, guys, it's more than that. I threw an interception. I did this wrong. I did that wrong.
That's what you have
want
to say.
out of a leader.
That's what you've got to say, but he and everybody else, including his team and every fan and every fucking commentator, knows what happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
You put a ball in the dude's fucking basket, and he dropped it for a 56-yard touchdown. It cripples your team. And then there's two, like the interception, that's on him. But fumbling at the 7, your best player,
I know.
fumbling at the 7, that shit.
It's a way you would have won the game.
It drains the energy out of the team, man. Like you, as a leader, you got to find a way to overcome that shit. Like, hey guys, I know we fucked up here. Let's go do it now, right? You have to be able to turn that back around in the way that the greats, Kobe, Jordan, people like that, were always able to. But man. I appreciate everybody likes Patrick Mahomes for a reason.
Yeah.
He's a good dude, right?
He's a good leader too.
Yeah.
Like he didn't throw his teammates under the bus. No. All of us were on a text thread last night. The funniest shit of all time last night on Twitter was apparently after the game he threw his gloves to a fan in the stand in the front row, and the fucking fan dropped the gloves, and they were like, Jesus Christ, this guy can't even complete a pass after the game's over. I mean, nobody was doing anything last night. Hard to watch, man. Look, I know we said this on the show, but I agree with Brady here. They got to figure this out. Delco, I said this before the show. Something you said a couple months ago on here. I think you need to create a separate salary cap for these quarterbacks. That way you can afford these other people. Even backup quarterbacks, like you take a Joe Burrow in the Bengals, right? They've got a good record. If they had a backup quarterback, maybe they could go to the playoffs or whatever, but you can't even afford good backup quarterbacks anymore.
Yeah, but there aren't any good backups anymore, right? Like think about this. When's the last time that a fucking backup got traded in the middle of the season to a team like that? Like what happened with Josh Dobbs. When's the last time that happened and the guy came in and started immediately and it was good? at what he was doing, right?
Nah,
I don't remember the last
I don't
time.
either.
There's not enough. We talk about this all the time. There's not enough quarterbacks to staff the starting rotation for the league. Not enough good ones, right? So the fuck are you going to do?
I don't know.
Like Baker Mayfield is a starting quarterback in the NFL.
I know.
And
Listen.
I understand that he can, in the right situation, do some stuff, but you want more than that. Like
Yep.
he's a Mark Sanchez level quarterback, right? Like for real.
Yeah.
He gets more opportunities because Sanchez got stuck on the Jets, right? And that's everybody. You're going to die there, no matter what you do. Even the best quarterback of our generation so far, Aaron Rodgers, went there and his leg couldn't handle 4 fucking plays. It's like, oh, the Jets, nope, snap. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man.
After watching last night's game, though, I don't know that the Eagles get out of the NFC anymore. I think it might be the 49ers if their defense holds up. I don't know where the offense is coming from there.
just keep
sometimes.
winning.
It's coming from Debo Samuel, Christian McCaffrey.
No, not out of
George Kittle.
not out of the 49ers, out of the Eagles here.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's been really weird. You know, to be honest, and I'd like your take on this, Delco. Sirianni, I think he's a good coach. I think he gets in his own head a little bit too much from time to time and tries to outsmart stuff. But you guys have a stable of pretty solid running backs, but it doesn't seem to be any kind of consistency week to week on how he manages the fucking rotation there.
Well, it's not Sirianni. It's our OC.
Sure,
Brian
yeah.
Johnson. Brian Johnson is kind of whatever.
But they're making Jalen Hurts run the ball so much. He had 12 more carries
Yeah,
last
it's not
night.
good. He's going to get hurt. But no, I mean, this is what
But you've got
happens. We had to
Boston Scott,
replace
Kenneth
both.
Gainwell, and DeAndre Swift, all shit. And it's like, it isn't like they each get 7 or 8 a game. It's like somebody gets 12, somebody gets 2, and somebody gets 6 or something like that. What is it? Is it like I don't pay enough attention to the Eagles to know this. Is it situational third down? Is it the fucking third and long or third and short? Is
not
that how
really.
he's deciding? Because it doesn't seem like there's any rhyme or reason to this shit.
You know, we're just replacing both coordinators. So Brian Johnson comes in. I don't necessarily agree with a lot of his play calling. You'll see a lot of the bubble screens. They got figured out pretty quick by the Chiefs, and he just kept fucking hammering that horn, and did not work. But he was getting Devonta Smith involved. Typically, at the beginning of the season when we traded for Swift didn't even get that many carries to start the season. Then they realized, oh, no, Swift's that dude still. So he's kind of been
I mean, he's
carrying the load.
24.
Yeah.
But I guess of late, he's been the most consistent ball carrier with the last 5 weeks, 10, 15, 16, 18, and 12 last week. But you still see hold on, let me get back there.
He's our main guy now. But to start the season, when he first got here, they just, for whatever reason, didn't realize he was good.
That seems kind of weird considering he was...
Or maybe he was learning the playbook still.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
DeAndre Swift?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's new this year, but and I watched, there was a thing, ESPN had all the talking heads there and said, why the Chiefs are better and all that other shit this morning. Look, the fact of the matter is the Eagles keep on winning. Is it ugly? Yes. I know they brought up the fact that 7 of the wins are under 7 points.
That's the NFL.
It's the NFL.
The average margin of victory is 5.5 in
I
the
know.
NFL.
That's
so
the NFL.
That's a meaningless
I don't know
stat
what
to
else.
me.
Me too. I don't know what else you
Especially
want
playing
out
in
of
the
them.
best division. Well, I mean, the Redskins have fallen off precipitously. The Giants, not great anymore
hunt.
either.
Dallas.
But Dallas, it's there. Is there a division in football that has 2 better teams than those 2 inside of the same division? I don't think so right now. I'm looking at the list here.
I guess Dolphins, Bills. If you
But
wanted
the Bills
to do
are
that.
a fucking joke, man.
I'm with you.
There's huge hole, and I guess the Bills are comparable to the Cowboys, though. If you want to make that point, so yeah, you're probably right.
We'll find out a lot about the Bills this week.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys playing the Bills this week?
Yeah, and then we play the 49ers, and then the Cowboys. It's a brutal stretch.
I think the
49ers
Bills
will probably be the big one.
That's the big one. I think the Bills match up horribly against the Eagles, to be honest.
So do I.
They can't stop the fucking run like that, and all 3 of your guys.
I would take the Eagles over the Bills.
Yeah, I would take that at probably 4 or 5, to be honest. I
Yeah.
think that's what it'll be. Is it in Buffalo or is it in Philly?
It's in Philly. It's the 3:25 game where
This weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, we're about to cover it.
Yeah,
here.
we'll get up there in a sec then.
Yeah, so kids, we'll go over the wins and losses here this week. A lot of wins, except for last night. It was pretty fucking good. Bears Panthers, told you not to bet this, and you didn't because that was the week before. Bengals Ravens was up first. All right. Burrow got hurt in this game, left. A lot of people lost a lot of money in this. We had the over, luckily, so it was fine, and they had no problem clearing that. But, Burrow's out for the year. No backup, no nothing. Bengals are pretty much done here. They're 5-5. Steelers Browns. This was identical to what I said. This would be a field goal game. You actually took the Browns in this one.
I took the Browns and I took the under, which was 28.5 or some bullshit like that.
So you won both of those.
Yeah.
Now, if you were following along in Drinkin Bros Sports on Facebook, where I post all my bet slips on there,
I'm sorry, it was 36.5. But either way,
it wasn't
like
even
I
close.
would have taken it at 28.5.
Yeah, it wasn't even close. But if you saw it in there, the spread was 2.5 in this game, and I was like, man, let's jack up the Steelers to 9.5, and that was on that big teaser card that won. We won a lot of fucking money, so that was a good one. Lions, Bears. All right, now this one I was talking to Delco with because I had to come back to the studio to record on Sunday. I had a shit ton of money on this game, and you did too, right? Did you tease this down to 1 as well?
Well, to 2 because it was an 8-point spread. I took a 6-point teaser.
Yes. So either way,
So-
It went all the way down to 8 because it started. I think it opened at 9.5.
Yeah,
dude, the Lions were down by 17 to start the fourth quarter, and I'm like, fuck you guys,
But
dude.
the 2-point conversion at the end was huge for me.
Massive. We needed it so much that it was insane. They got it. We won, but it was the last seconds. Justin Fields, man, I thought he looked great in this game. Come to Atlanta. They don't want you there. I'll take you down there. This kid's got the tools, man. I'm in now on Justin Fields. I know I wasn't in the past, but come down to Atlanta.
Well,
I'd love to see you there.
I said this all last year too, in the beginning of this year. When he's protected in any way, when he can take a full 5 or 7 step drop, his passer rating goes, or his pass completion percentage goes from like 58 up to like 78.
Yep.
Right. Which, I mean, it makes sense. If you're protected, you can do stuff, but that's a 20-point swing for a guy who has the ability to run like that too. Like if he can make accurate, if you just get a little bit of protection. This is a guy who doesn't necessarily. This is a guy who. It doesn't necessarily matter who the receivers are, if he can get protected on the offensive line, right? Because he can just run the ball. So it's another option to give those guys a little bit of space to run routes. Is what I mean by that. So it's more important for a guy like, a traditional quarter like Kirk Cousins, for example, to have great receivers who can get open, right? But if you can protect this dude, because he'll run for 100 yards every single game. If you let him.
He did in this one, man, and he never ran like this in college. So it's
he's just a fucking winner, is what I think.
I
don't know much about him personally. It seems like his attitude's pretty good.
Yeah,
right.
No problems at Ohio State.
He reminds me a lot of C.J. Stroud, another Ohio State quarterback. That's just like a fucking winner. They win. Yeah, that's what they do.
But he's stuck in a losing organization, unfortunately. So get him out of there. Bring him out in Atlanta. I'm fine. Chargers, Packers, man. Look, we told you every other week this team is up and down. Another down week for these guys. If they don't fire this coach in like an hour, I don't know what the Chargers are doing anymore. Another game that this guy blew, and every single fucking player said it in the press conference afterwards.
And he was given lip at the presser afterwards,
it's crazy.
Too. He's like, you asked that question enough. No asking questions no more. Like, dude, you've got a fucking lineup of all-stars.
Yeah.
And you're mediocre. Not this year. But for 3 fucking years in a row now.
Defense is bad.
The defense is not good
Well,
anymore.
Bosa got hurt. He's out for the year now. I think it was an ACL, so he's done.
And then the
had a lot of injuries on that defense.
Receivers dropped 3 touchdown passes.
I did. But it's a weird fucking team, man. They need to blow up the coaching staff over there and figure the fuck out because you have talent, but the window is closing
Honestly,
on
maybe
some of these
just
guys.
promote Kellen Moore.
Maybe that's why they brought him there. Who knows? We'll see. Dolphins, Raiders over there. This was a 14-point spread in this one. Told you 14 is a little too high for the NFL. This came in at 7, so we hit it on the teasers and all that other stuff. Look, I wouldn't read too much into this. The Dolphins just didn't look like they gave a shit in this game, to be honest with you.
Tyreek is hurt.
Oh, is he really?
But I think he's fine. I mean, he had a little hand thing, but it didn't seem like it was that bad. I don't think he's on the. Hold on, let me look.
Yeah, he only had 10 receptions for 146 yards.
Yeah, only.
So
Yeah.
Kind of an off game for him.
Yeah, because I mean, he's the best.
He's best in the NFL. Next up, Giants beating the Commanders. Told you not to bet this game for this exact reason. When you have 2 teams like this who don't have anything to play for here, it doesn't really matter. Tommy DeVito. Oh, what do you have? 3, 4 touchdowns in this one?
Yeah, I think he had 3 touchdowns.
Yeah. So good for him, I guess. And if you're a Giants fan, I don't know. Do you want to win anymore? Like you're 3-8. Why not just get a good draft pick? I guess. Next up, Cowboys Panthers. Cowboys destroyed them. We called this. It was all fine.
Well, the one interesting thing from this game is Deron Bland tied the NFL record for most defensive touchdowns in the season at 4. And there's still, 7 games left in their schedule.
7 games left.
Possible he'll break that record. Now, who's that other guy we talk about a lot who jumps routes a lot, but he gets burned on the back end?
Diggs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trayvon Diggs. Same guy, same team,
Yep.
right?
I think
it's like that's one of the reasons that you look at the Cowboys stats at the end of the year and Dak's got fucking 4,800, 5,000 yards and 30 touchdowns. He threw a lot of picks last year, but on a normal season, it's half of the picks he threw last season. Mm-hmm. And then you see one or maybe 2 running backs with 800 to 1,000 yards. Like, damn, why can't these guys win games? It's that little shit right there.
Yep.
It's like stuff that shows up in the box score that looks good, and you see the consequence of that box score, which is Diggs and Bland getting burned all the time over the top. You just can't play in the NFL like that, man.
Titans at the Jaguars there. Jaguars roll. Will Levis started off very, very strong. 4 touchdowns. He was going to be the dude, and then hasn't showed up ever since. Strange.
I mean, he was 13 for 17 for 2 tutties, 143.8 rating. It's just like they can't get him the ball, and they can't stop anybody.
They didn't even score in the first half, so I shut it off at half. So maybe I had that in the second half, but they were scoreless in the first when I got out of there. Next up, C.J. Stroud against the Cardinals here. Let's face it, we're all just watching him now at this point. 336 and 2 touchdowns. Another win. Texans are on their way to the playoffs.
That's the big story for me is
probably the biggest story of the season.
Who's the last rookie to win MVP? Was it Herschel?
How is Herschel doing? Is Bob here?
No, Bob's in St. Louis
Kidding.
eating ribs.
How is Herschel doing?
NFL.
I don't know that a rookie has ever won NFL or the MVP.
Oh, Jim Brown won. He's the only rookie to ever win NFL.
Wow.
I knew it was one of those guys. He rushed for 900 yards.
Jesus.
940
Okay.
actually. So yeah, that would be historic to be the second Jim Brown, right?
Man, that'd be wild. There's a lot of games left, but yeah, that'd be
There are a lot of games left, but I don't think the Texans have like a bunch of.
No, they've got a very favorable schedule heading down the stretch.
Like they play this week.
They're going to the playoffs.
They play the Jags this week, who they played good last week, so they're probably going to suck this week.
Yeah,
right?
that's a winnable game.
Then the Broncos, Jets,
Winnable game.
Titans
Winnable game.
again.
Winnable game.
Browns,
Winnable game.
because the Browns can't score now.
Yeah.
Then the Titans again.
PJ Walker is the Browns quarterback, so it's like these are all winnable games.
Titans and Colts they finish up the
Shit.
season, so it's like they can. He can definitely pad that up. I think right now you got to say he's the leading candidate for MVP, right?
He
What's
could go
my bookie say?
5-2.
Right now, Jalen Hurts is favored.
You can see that.
Yeah.
Best player on the best team.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
because the Eagles are going to run it
Yeah.
until probably San Francisco, I guess.
Then it goes Lamar, Mahomes, Tua, and Dak Prescott.
Gross. CJ Stroud's got better numbers than all those guys. Leading a dog shit Texas team to the fucking playoffs is easily the most impressive thing I've ever
CJ's
seen.
got the same odds at a lot of books that Dak and Brock Purdy have.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't have Purdy anywhere near this list, but whatever.
Well, he missed a bunch of time.
Speaking
too,
of Purdy, yeah, exactly. That's why. Speaking of Purdy, he had a good game this week, but it was the Buccaneers.
Well, I mean, he took down Baker, you know.
Yeah, it's tough.
But if you like any game that Purdy's in where his 3 big weapons are healthy, they fucking 4 big weapons, they win. But who else has got 4 big weapons? Who's got Brandon
I know.
Ayuk, Debo Samuel, Christian McCaffrey, and George Kittle?
How much do you want, dude? How much do you want, Purdy? You fuck.
Perfect.
Yeah. Anybody could be
He was
perfect in
perfect,
that
yeah.
offense. Yeah. Bills, Jets. Bills decided to show up and play. Jets are benching their quarterback, and they're 6-5. Bills fans.
They're only
Jets.
1 game up on the Bills right now, technically, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Or on the Jets, rather. Excuse me.
Stupid.
And the Bills are proving what we've been saying for years on this show. It's like it doesn't matter how good your fucking defense is. If you can't control the clock on offense, they're going to get you eventually. Yeah. If you give somebody 10 possessions in a game, 12 possessions, they're going to score a couple points at least. Shit.
Next up, Seahawks, Rams. Man, this Seahawks team is a fucking disappointment.
Yeah, what do you
this year.
think this is?
Gino?
He got hurt.
But he was good last year. You don't just stop being good. I don't think.
I wonder, man.
You think he's
if
got the yips?
No, it's not that. Well,
because they only got better.
So I watched this game. I had money on this game. Luckily, it was also in a teaser, but I had this straight up as well. And man, dude, I watched it, and he's overthrowing people, and he's got everything. He's got DK Metcalf. He's got Tyler Lockett. He's got Jackson Smith and Jigma. He's got Noah Fant. He's got Kenneth Walker in the backfield. He's got the same fucking people that Purdy has, and he just can't put it together this year.
And it's the same. It's other than adding Jackson Smith and Jigma, it's the identical offense from last year.
Yes,
who had great success. So it makes you wonder what's going on.
I don't know. I mean, it's because look, the Rams. Yes, they still have Aaron Donald and those guys, but. Shit, man, you got so many fucking weapons there, and then you beefed it. I know Walker got hurt at the end of the first quarter, but still, dude, the Charbonnet kid they brought in after him looked great. I don't know. Vikings, Broncos, talked about that on Recap yesterday. It might not be Russell Wilson. It might be the system here. We'll find out here as the weeks stretch on. Broncos are 5-5. Vikings still in it at 6-5. NFC is fucking terrible. They could sneak in, and that would be a fun story for Alopecia guy.
Dobbs, yeah.
That'd be a fun story for him. And then obviously we covered the shit show of the Chiefs last night. Just get him one wide receiver there. Buy a fucking person. Buy a human. You guys can buy extra money on your deposit when you head to mybookie.com and enter that promo code Drinkin, bros. That'll double your first deposit all the way up to $1,000. Tons and tons of great games to bet on. It's my favorite week of the year, not just for Ohio State, Michigan, but I love betting on all the Thanksgiving games. I will be just sitting there, belly out, drinking craft beer, gambling on all the games here, and enjoying it. Lions are good this year, so it's fun to watch. Cowboys are in the second game there, and then 49ers Seahawks at night. Another great game, so let's go, dude. I'm all in. Thanksgiving Day. And then obviously we have rivalry weekend here coming up. Ohio State, Michigan, Auburn, Alabama in the Iron Bowl there. And I'll give Georgia Tech some love in Georgia. Fun game, okay? What is it? Oregon State, Washington State, Washington. Tons of them, man. You can gamble on all of them at mybookie.com. And they've got a million different odds. So each one of these games has over 300 alt lines for it. So it's a fucking blast.
Prop
dude.
bets and shit, yeah.
Yes, everything.
Like everything, anything
So
you
fun.
can think of to bet on, it's probably on.
We
there.
had a listener last night who did something interesting, and I didn't know you could do this, but he put a parlay down on over-unders on players and hit all fucking 5. It was like DeAndre Swift plus, over 50 yards last night. Jalen Hurts over 25 yards rushing as a receiver, and everything else is like, God damn, man. And it paid off at 6-1. So that rocks. And I didn't even know that was possible. I've never done any player props like that before where you're parlaying them, but I might have to start. Fucking Thanksgiving, I might. Join Drinkin' Bros Sports. Next up, if you want any tickets to these games, go to drinkinbrostickets.com. We got you covered there. College football, shit. I think I'm going to take my kid to that Texas game on Friday nights just because they're in town, and we're winding down the stretch here. This is it, man. Shit, we got 2 more weeks left to college football, which is kind of depressing. So I think I might take him to the Texas game. I'm going to head on over to Drinkin' Bros Tickets. It's $10 cheaper than any other organization out there. Looking at you, StubHub. And then last but not least, hardafseltzer.com. Look, 8% seltzer is available in all your cities. All these college towns right now. University of Alabama, we're in Tuscaloosa, Corks and Tops. That Shell station there on 1405 University Boulevard. Auburn, head on down to Tiger Liquors there because it's a home game for Auburn there. We're available in Georgia everywhere pretty much. Shit. Go to Atlanta, fucking everywhere. So anywhere around that stadium, Tech, down there in downtown, or Athens, obviously, boom, Booze in it. Knoxville, Tennessee, Total Wine's up there, University Liquors on campus. And Ohio State, look, I know the game is at Michigan. You'll all be at the bars. We're served at all those bars. So go to Standard Hall down there on campus, Urban Meyer's Pint House in the Short North, and the Pint House, Urban Meyer's Pint House in Dublin, and then the Pint House in the Short North as well. And then Johnny's Tavern, Standard Hall, all that stuff. 14-0 liquors. Let's fucking go. Hard AF Seltzers everywhere. Go grab yourself a 12-pack and go to hardafseltzer.com. Type in your city or zip, and it'll take you to the closest store, or we can ship it right to your house. All right, Thanksgiving Day games. Let's go. Packers, Lions. You heard Mickey Gall here at the top of the show say that he's going with the Lions, minus 7.5 at home. Who you got, D'Anthony?
I think 7.5 is too many points. They've been really inconsistent.
I agree.
But here's a stat that you might find interesting. So the last time the Lions were 8-2, black people couldn't eat in restaurants. It was 1962.
Was it really? It was before the Civil Rights Act?
Yeah, I got the Civil Rights Act of 1965. That's right.
Yep.
I stole that from Only Dads. It's an Instagram account that it must be somebody, a fan of the show or some shit, because they only follow Drinkin Bros and Hard AF Seltzer and then Heroed Out.
Oh, that's great.
So I assume it's a fan of the show that runs that account. But yeah, that's a good meme.
Yeah.
And it's also accurate.
It is
right?
accurate. It's real.
So
it's real.
You know, I like accuracy in my memes.
Are you impressed that I knew when the Civil Rights Act was passed?
I was shocked, actually. Yeah. I mean, the only reason you would know it is because you were making fun of it at some point.
No, dude, no. I take my history very, very seriously,
it's the only
guys.
reason.
I take history very seriously. Some say too seriously. Look, I live with you on this one. It's that hook that's got me, man. You would have had me at 7, and I would have bought down to 6.5 on this one. I think the Lions are going to win. What I love to do with all these games, I usually tease all of them together so I can watch all of them. Because people ask me all the time, they're like, hey, why do you do the over-under and the games together? I like to watch the whole game, whatever it is, and just at least have it on in the background, right? Otherwise, I'll kind of check out of it if it's a blowout or something like that. Like, I want to at least be in it, and for Thanksgiving, let's be in it. So for this one, this will end up in a teaser for me for sure, and I'm going to drop Detroit down. I think Detroit wins this game, but I'm with you there. Packers-Lions is always oddly close every single year, no matter what the talent is. And the Lions, yes, they are winning, but it's close here. I mean, they were down by 17 with fucking 6 minutes left to go in that game.
It's not been
Delco and I couldn't believe it.
It's not been very consistent, for sure.
No, but they are 8-2. They are at home. And then, I know I bring this up a lot, but it's important. Tickets are $200 for the last row in the stadium. People go to this. They're amped. Usually, a Lions on Thanksgiving is like $4, dude. People love this team. They're excited about it, so they're gonna show out. I think the Lions win this game, but just put it in a teaser and protect yourself. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Next up, we got the Redskins at the Cowboys. Man, preseason, this sounded like a fun game, didn't it? And now it doesn't anymore. This is Cowboys minus 10.5. This is where I take my first nap of the day, right around this 3:30 time here. I usually booze, brunch at the house, nap, and then wake back up for Thanksgiving dinner here. What do you do here with minus 10.5?
Meaningless game at home. Yeah, the Cowboys will do this. The Redskins have given up. Not just so the GM quit, then the coach quit, then the locker room quit.
Yep.
We see it every week now. Pretty much every week they run out there. It's a broken, beaten team. So yeah, 10.5.
Sam Howell hasn't given up, dude. He leads the league in passing.
Yeah, he's a game up on everybody,
Yards,
but 18-12.
He's trying. God damn, is that guy trying though?
Yeah.
I like him. I actually really like Sam Howell.
The thing about so they're 4-7. They have, because of the division they're in, especially, they have no chance in the playoffs.
No,
really. So you're going to see Robinson get put on a pitch count for run soon, and you'll see fucking Sam Howell get on a pitch count for throwing the ball too, because he's fucking 23 years old. There's no reason. Like, get in some reps.
Yep.
Let him fucking face some good defenses, or whatever the fuck, but you don't want to risk him for nothing.
And maybe pull him out the last 2 games of the year because it's worthless.
Like faking injuries. Like,
yeah.
He's got sad boy. We have to take him out.
He's got sad boy energy.
Yeah.
And he's got SBE. What's SBE? Oh, it's sad boy energy.
Yeah.
He feels sad today.
He's just not going to make it. So
it's raining outside. He feels kind of sad. So this is how it's lining up for me here. I take that Detroit line down to 0.5. I take this Dallas line down to 3.5. And then the next one I take down to fucking 0 here. I love it. And then that's my day. That's
well,
my
how do you
full
get it
day.
to 0? It's at 6.5 right now.
That's my full day. Well, I'm looking at it here. So the beauty of it is, I'm glad you asked that. On my bookie, which we talked about earlier before the show started, it'll let you do a 6-point teaser, 6.5, 7, and then if you do a 3 game, they'll pop it in there and let you do 10 if you want. But I think the way this shakes out, a nice 6 or a 6.5 would be fine on all this stuff.
Honestly, I think you're good at 6.5 on this.
You might be good with all these lines altogether, to be honest with you.
Maybe. I think Detroit's the one that's suspicious to me just because that game, even when the Packers were really good and the Lions kind of sucked, that was still a close game. And the inverse is true as well. 49ers Seahawks is, over the last, let's call it 12 years, has been a pretty good matchup.
Yeah.
But the Seahawks they're fucked right now. They're off rhythm and shit. And the pass rush that's coming for them next week is going to be a fucking problem. Or this week, rather. Yeah, I think you're fine at just 6.5.
It's the night game on NBC. This used to be on the NFL Network. I'm not sure what happened with the rights to this, but it's on NBC. Look, this is San Francisco minus 6.5 here. I'm all in on San Francisco. You don't need.
But if you're doing you
don't need to fuck with it. But you can.
If you're doing a Thanksgiving Day teaser, you may as well take the teaser and put it in there. I mean, it's free money, so
fuck yeah, dude. I'm also gonna probably drop down this over under on a couple of these games. I'm gonna mix this up. I'm gonna have a smorgasbord. Go to Drinkin Bros Sports on Facebook. Sign up; it's free, and then you'll see all the bet slips there. I'm gonna do a bunch of weird shit for Thanksgiving this year, just because it's fun. Finally have some time off here. D'Anthony and I have been traveling most of the fall here, and I love betting on these games, man. It's one of my favorite things to do. So you follow me in there, and you'll see those bets late Wednesday night. I usually post them. Next up for Sunday's game. Oh, shit. No, I forgot. This is the Black Friday game. Sorry. African-American Friday. I apologize.
The guy's name is Friday.
Yeah.
Is what you're saying.
And I don't want to do that and seem racist here. The African American Friday game is here. This is Dolphins at the Jets. I know why they did this. This before the season started. This was going to be an awesome game. And Rodgers, 9/11. His fucking leg was the third tower there. This is Dolphins minus 9.5. Who you got in this one, D'Anthony? Keep in mind, Tim Boyle is the starting quarterback for the Jets, who I don't know. I didn't even know he was a person.
I mean, that sounds like a human being's name.
It sounds like a director of an indie movie, you know. But over under is 40.5. Gross. This is a pile of gross. Who you got in this game?
This is a bad bet.
It sure is.
So no.
I agree.
I mean, what I'll probably do, since it's the Friday night game, and I'll be in Pahina.
This is a day game, by the way.
Yeah, it's a day game. I think I'm going to be on a plane, actually, while this is happening, to Phoenix to get my other arm tattooed. So by Marissa Loren, by the way, who's the best in the world.
Shout out to her. Yeah,
you may remember her from the internet or from what was it called? Inked. What was it?
Yeah, Inked.
Ink Masters. Ink Masters. Yeah, the Dave Navarro's show. At any rate, I'll probably dig into the props before I get on my plane and make a bunch of prop bets about player props. Right? Like, I'll probably parlay a bunch of shit just to have fun with this game, and I'll watch it on the plane.
Just to watch it, yeah.
But I just don't think. Who knows, man? The Dolphins might win this game by fucking 40.
I know.
And it might be a fucking field goal. I don't like betting on games like that.
The other weird thing to keep in mind is after Thanksgiving. I mean, when you give players a day off of Thanksgiving, it's not like they're going to not eat and then just show up and play in the middle of the afternoon the next day. Tune into the college football show tomorrow, because instead of betting on this game, here's what I would recommend is betting on those college games. There's a ton of fucking great college football games on Friday this week. So I would go that route and steer clear of this. If you want to tease it down and have some funsies with it, feel free. But I'm with Dan. This could be 3. This could be 40. It just depends on what the Dolphins are feeling that day. And the day after Thanksgiving, I wouldn't be feeling that great. Remember those Christmas games? Well, they still do it from the NBA. They suck. They suck every year. The players don't want to be there, and
it's usually a finals rematch from the previous year.
It is, but here's the problem with it, which is why these games have always sucked, and nobody ever tells you this, is that the players have kids. They wake up, they do Christmas super early with kids because the kids are excited. They get up at fucking 5:45. You're having Christmas. You're doing all the fun things, and then Boom. Oh, shit. I got a fucking night game after eating Christmas dinner, family, everything else. I don't feel like playing this goddamn game. That's why they've always sucked. Even when Kobe played, they were never good, dude. Nobody cares. Let them be with their goddamn families. It's crazy to me. So this one, same thing. I don't know the day after Thanksgiving, these guys are going to fucking care. Just show up and kind of do it. And whatever happens, happens there. Next up, used to be a rivalry. At some point in the history of the NFL. Saints-Falcons, that was our biggest rivalry every year. And now it's turned to shit. This is Atlanta -1 here.
Falcons coming off a big bye week. They've had some time to prepare for Derek Carr, which I'm not sure what that entails, like applying your own eyeshadow maybe. I don't know.
Fuck me.
Yeah, this is a bullshit game.
So the reason why this is a bullshit game too, Heineke's out. He looked pretty good for the 36 hours that he started, and it's Ritter. So you're betting on Ritter against Carr. Ask yourself this: is that the person you want to be in this life? Like for real. Like look yourself in the mirror if you're gambling on this game and say, hey, is this the person I really want to be in this life? Because if so, man, there's a hotline that you should call. They gave us the number here. I don't know what it is for gambling, but call it and then fucking check yourself in somewhere, dude. Don't bet on this. Get far away from it. Burn it. I'm as a Falcons fan, I'm not even gonna watch it. And both of these teams, the Saints are in first place at 5-5, and the Falcons are one game out of first at 4-6. This is the worst division in football. Next up, Steelers-Bengals, another one that is usually a blast. However, Burrow is out here, so this is Pittsburgh -1. Over-under is shockingly low in this one at 34.5.
It's even worse than last week.
Sure is. Who you got?
I will take the under. Thank you for asking.
I will take the Steelers in this -1. I don't even know who the backup is for the Bengals, but
It's Dave quarterback.
oh, is it Dave quarterback?
Yeah. Who the fuck knows, man?
No idea. But look,
Bengals is Jake Browning.
Who?
Jake Browning,
who the fuck is that?
Washington.
From what year?
Well, yeah.
I'm gonna say 2013-ish.
Oh boy, is that 10 years ago?
I mean, he's lasted in the league this long. That's got to count for something.
Yeah,
I
he's
guess.
alive and he's a body. Does he have 2 arms and 2 legs?
I'm sorry, no, he was 2015.
That's still a long
But does he
time
still
ago.
have 2 arms and 2 legs? You didn't
does.
answer that question. Okay, great. So for that reason, I'm going to take the Steelers. Look, Steelers win week after week. It's ugly. They always win by 3 at -1. I will take them. It doesn't really matter there. Kenny Pickett isn't the answer, though. Mike Tomlin is best coach in the NFL next to Belichick, in my opinion, right? Or, no, I'm sorry. I would go Belichick, Andy Reid, and then probably Mike Tomlin.
Yeah, I mean, if you're grading on a curve, if it was a
Bell curve?
like if you're when they test your vertical leap, it isn't about how high you jump; it's about how high you are relative to your height, right? Like how far your feet get off the ground.
Yeah,
that's kind of what it is. I feel like Tomlin is doing the high jump or doing the vertical leap test with Mount Everest on his back every single fucking year.
Yeah.
It's incredible what this dude's done with a very minimal amount of offensive talent over the years.
Yeah, it's
to be
amazing.
honest. Like he had Jerome Bettis for a little while, but not long. And then a series of okay running backs who had some good year here, bad year there. Roethlisberger was pretty inconsistent. They only had one good receiver for most of those years, Antonio Brown, right?
Yeah.
And then it's like they only won the one bowl, but still they were fucking in the playoffs every fucking year. When's the last time he had a losing season? Never.
Never, dude.
With this team, are you fucking serious?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. So if you graded on a bell curve, maybe he's 2 over Reed, because Reed like was born on third base in Kansas City. Let's be frank about that. He's Steve Kerr in Golden State, right? Mark Jackson can't get a fucking job in the NBA right now, but he built that whole fucking team that Steve Kerr took to 4 finals, except for KD, right? So it's like, I don't know. I feel like Tomlin's probably better than Reed.
I agree. You know why?
White.
No. No.
Diversity.
No. It's because he's taking bioproteintech.com,
shit.
dude. Yeah. We saved the best for last year. I slid it in, dude, at the end because we need this, okay? Every year after puberty, HGH, human growth hormone, the hormone responsible for workout, recovery, performance, metabolism, and even sex drive, starts to decline. Not Mike Tomlin. The guy's doing it Why? He's probably taking this. Sometimes by 50% at the age of 35, half your shit is gone, dude. Doesn't matter who you are, how hard you train, or how good you eat. It's happening to all of us. That's where BioPro Plus comes in. BioPro Plus is the first of its kind, non-synthetic alternative to prescription HGH human growth hormone treatments. All the benefits of synthetic HGH without any of the needles, side effects, or doctor visits. Best part is BioPro Plus works super fast, is easy to use, and 100% safe. It's been trusted by physicians since 2009, and its benefits can be felt in just days instead of months. Guys who use BioPro Plus have experienced faster workout recovery, enhanced performance, metabolism, sexual function, and even better mood and energy. Want to fix the way you perform, look, and feel without all the risk of big pharma's bullshit? Head on over to bioproteintech.com to learn more, or click the link in the description underneath the audio show here and use the code Drinkin Bros for $30 off your first order. Again, that is bioproteintech.com. Drinkin Bros for $30 off your first order. You and I use this. It's been great, man.
It is the only sleep aid I've ever used that didn't make me crazy like Ambien or as drowsy as fuck like any of the other ones when I wake up in the morning.
Yeah.
Like I drink it, put it on my tongue, drink it, and then I get sleep, like real sleep. It's weird, man. And without any kind of weird hangovers, like every other kind of medication or anything I've taken for it, you either have like super vivid dreams that wake you up because it's psychoactive properties, or you feel like shit hungover in the morning from it. This one's fucking dope. It's the only one I'll use moving forward.
And if you're a Panthers or a Titans fan, you should probably take this before this game, the noon game over there on Fox. It's a bad one.
Take it right before the game starts.
Take it right before the game. Just sleep through it, dude. This is Titans -3.5 here. Panthers are 1-9. Okay, and they're not. They don't get a draft pick this year. They're still 1-9. Titans are 3-7. Now they do get a draft pick this year, but I don't know what they're going to do with it. I don't know what they're going to do with this entire team. Derrick Henry looks tired. He looks exhausted out there. He's starting to slow down. Is he 29? It looks like he's hitting that.
I think so. I think he's actually 30.
That block now. Look, he was one of the best for years. He looks fucking tired right now. Still somehow on pace for 1,000 yards, but it's going to be a struggle, dude.
Yeah, he's 29, but he'll be 30 on the 4th of January. So, and he's on pace for 11.27 this year.
He should become the new Jerome Bettis after he leaves the Titans. Just
Third
1
down,
yard.
yeah.
Third yard, and that's it. And because they're going to get rid of the tush push. This guy is the best answer to that for 1 yard. So maybe he'll play after that. But right now, this Titans team, not great, not fun to watch. No. Do you bet this?
No.
Okay.
No, but I might take a Derrick Henry yards over or something like that because the Panthers are real bad.
Yeah, terrible.
And but the thing about being in a rebuild like the Titans are, whether they want to admit it or not, is that they're gonna probably send Levis out there with a bunch of stuff like a spring training or minor league rehab assignment game where he's like, there's 12 check boxes I want you. We don't care about this game. 12 check boxes. I need to hit these 5. You got to make all 5 passes in the same game, right? So that's how you keep young developing players motivated on a shitty performing team. Like, don't worry about the outcome necessarily. There's the 5 throws that quarterbacks in the NFL need to be able to make. You're good at the deep ones. You got a fucking hose. Let's get timing worked out on these outs, on the slants, on your fucking check down, and on your fucking post. Let's get all 5 throws there settled, and then that's a good building block for him because I think Will Levis is going to be a good quarterback in the NFL. He's not the smartest of all the guys, if you believe the Wonder League bullshit. But he's got a fucking cannon on him, and he doesn't turn the ball over a lot, right? That's important. I don't know. I mean, this team sucks too, so anything he does on this team is pretty good. He had a good week last week.
I think it's too early to judge Bryce Young or Will Levis. So
Bryce Young is
I know he's small.
He's small, but he's playing on a fucking JV team.
I know,
right
so
now.
it's hard to.
He's tiny. He's a little man.
He's a little man.
He needs to put on about 20 pounds of muscle.
No,
for sure.
he's gonna stink.
I don't think so, man. I think he'll figure it out. It depends if the team is going to figure it out, and that's kind of what we were talking about with the mediocrity of all this shit. Like, who knows? I mean, even this next game, Buccaneers at the Colts. Now, I bet this game out of laughter. Pure laughter on this one. Dead serious. I'll throw a hunch on it just to do it here because it is, who he could lead this. He could lead the Eagles to a Super Bowl. Didn't. They put the backup in, Jalen Hurts. No reason here. We're talking about Gardner Minshew.
Well, these are the two best quarterbacks
Of our generation.
Right? The two best white trash quarterbacks.
Look.
You can't name two other quarterbacks in the NFL that are total white trash. Because Baker's from here too, right?
Yeah, well, he's from the nice part here, right? Isn't he from
Lake Travis?
Yeah, he's from the nice part.
But his dad stole his money, so he is white trash.
Yeah, he's white trash,
His
dude.
dad stole his money?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Johnny Manziel's from fucking Lake Travis too.
Wow.
White trash.
No, Manziel's from like kind of
He's pushed out a little bit.
rural Texas.
Yeah, if you watch the doc, by the way, they convinced everybody that he was rich so he could get out of the autograph scandal. Even the dad was in on it. The dad faked a fucking heart attack too, man, so the NCAA wouldn't come one day.
Well,
it's a great story.
Paul Pierce faked hamstring tear.
Yeah.
Because he shit his pants.
He shit his pants.
You know, you sometimes ballers ball, man. This is the way it is.
Hey, so and the same with this game. This is Minshew in Indy -2.5. All in on Minshew, dude. This is Minshew's world. He's leading the Colts to the playoffs this year. They're 5-5 right now. They'll be 6-5 after this. All in on Minshew. Where are you at? Where's your head?
Oh, man, somewhere else. I'm not watching this bullshit.
I'm all in on this game, dude. I'm all in on Minshew versus Baker for no reason other than my own laughter.
Well, no, the Texans are playing on CBS, so that'll be the game we see here. But
Drinkin' Bros listeners, when you see this bet posted for $100 on this game, and this game only, you'll know why. You'll know exactly why here. I'm all in on Minshew. Let's go. He wins by a field goal. Pulls it off. He wins by 0.5 point. That's my prediction. Colts by 3 in this game. Next up, oof, boy. Wow, this is the end of the world, isn't it? The NFL, man. This is Patriots at 2-8 at the Giants 3-8. This is New England -3. Tommy DeVito, though, man, he's fucking slinging pizzas in the end zone and
Mac
shit.
Jones has got a double-double on the season.
Who? Mac Jones? Oh, that's right. He's 10-10.
I don't think that plays the same in the NFL, but
No, doesn't count the same.
this
there.
Giants roster up and down is one of the worst teams I've seen ever in the history of football.
Saquon Barkley just gets out of this team alive. It'll be a miracle, dude.
At least he got 11 or whatever mil for this year, right?
He did, but like this is his contract year, and like, god damn, man, they're doing him zero favors.
I don't think
That's
anybody
bullshit.
questions his level of talent, though.
I hope not, man.
But I still wouldn't pay him. I would draft a fucking running back
I agree.
from college
Yep.
that had 12 or 1,300 yards in the second or third round, and that would be my starting running back.
You could take that Gordon kid. You could take Travion Henderson.
Or is Blake Corum coming out?
Corum's coming out. Donovan Edwards is coming
They'll
out.
probably both be first-round picks, though, right?
You know what?
Maybe not Edwards, but Corum will probably be a
Corum's
first-round pick.
size, he scores so many fucking touchdowns. We'll find out this weekend. I think this weekend will have a lot to do with it. A game like this can really change your draft stock. If he has a good game this weekend, for sure he'll go first round. But if he doesn't, then he's going to slide. But don't bet this game, guys. This is look. This over is 33.5. You know, in an NFL game, dude, with real people. You know, this isn't like a video game or something like that. 33.5 in a fucking NFL game. That's your over/under? No, dude, no. And I've said this before, and I'll say it again. The contract we signed with my bookie does not. We're not forced to pick all these games. We don't have to tell you to bet on stupid shit just to do it. Next up, Jaguars versus the Texans. This is the game I watch it at noon. I got this in a box with Minshew and Steelers Bengals so far. That's my quad right now. I watched this game and I'm amped about this game. I watched the full Texans game last week. I know it's our local team here and they show all this shit, but I enjoyed it. Those guys are fucking young and fun to watch, and I'm in on the fucking Texans. Let's go. Jaguars -1.5 here. This is Stroud versus Lawrence. Going back to the college days here, I'm in on Stroud. I got the Texans in this one. I'll bet this game.
Yeah, I'm taking the Texans money line. Mm-hmm. Well, let me see actually if it's better.
It's at home.
They already destroyed the Jags on the road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that was in London, right?
Yeah, I believe that game was in London, I think.
Who could say?
Wasn't
I
it?
know,
Yeah.
right? Who could say anymore with the fucking NFL? But
Let me see what the fucking
this Texans team is starting to believe. Nico Collins is back healthy. He started last week. So Nico Collins, this fucking Tank Dell guy, and then the career resurgence of Devin Singletary somehow down there. This team is fun to watch. I watched the entire game. So Texans fans, I'm in it with you, dude. I'm betting the Texans this week.
Very excited. Yeah, so Texans money line is plus 105, so it's plus money. Plus 2 Texans is minus 111, so I'll probably go money line on that one.
Why not?
It's better.
Yeah,
because I think they're going to win the game by a touchdown. To be honest,
I think they win. It could be close, but it's fun.
but the Jags were good last week, which means they can't be good this week.
Exactly,
it's in their
It's
contract.
every other week, dude. Next up, Browns Broncos. My God, man. I mean, we're going back to the toilet again. We have our a little bit of high, and then we go immediately back to the toilet in the NFL. Look, kids, the over-under is 34.5. That's all you really need to know in this. This is Denver minus 2.5 here. The Browns' defense is really good. If they had a quarterback here, and look, Nick Chubb is out. Ford's played pretty fucking good in filling in for him here. But, man, this is going to be an ugly game to watch. I mean, there's snow in the forecast, too. Gross. It's a gross game. I don't bet this, do you?
I might go
Broncos?
no. I might go Browns plus 2.5. Just because if it turns into an ugly ground and pound, the Browns probably win that game, right?
They had a great defense.
Yeah, and they're quite a bit better on defense than the Broncos. They also have a better overall run game. They don't have a quarterback, but you can win. You can play a fucking Big Ten style football game here and win 15-10 or some shit.
Yeah, Iowa.
Yeah.
Treat it like an Iowa game.
I think the Browns probably win this game if it actually does snow.
Myles Garrett, by the way, Defensive Player of the Year. Said it's the last 3 weeks here. He's going to win it. Next up, I don't ever understand a spread like this. This is Rams at the Cardinals. The spread is 0.5 point. What the fuck does that mean?
Nothing.
It's usually a pick 'em or minus one. You never see 0.5 point unless you're expecting them to tie.
You can.
You can
You
tie.
can lose on a fucking tie.
How you can, but is that what Vegas is saying? Is like, hey, these teams are so equally bad that we're expecting a tie in this game?
No, it's a pick 'em, essentially.
But why not do a pick 'em? 0.5 point doesn't really mean anything to me because the only reason you would win is if there was a tie.
There have been 29 ties in the history of football. And only 5 seasons have two. There have been 2 ties in one season. It's like extremely rare.
It's been a lot more recently.
Oh yeah, well that's because they changed the rule back. There was no tie rule
and
for a long
they
time.
shortened the time in overtime. What is it? 10 minutes now?
Yeah,
It used to be 15.
it's like 2 10-minute quarters.
Yeah. Over under here is 44.5. That's where I'm going to live in this game. I'll take the over under here. I think Kyler Murray will chuck it around a little bit. I think Stafford will chuck it around a little bit, and that's where my money goes on this game. This is a coin toss for me of who cares the least. I guess.
Well, the Rams defense has been playing better lately,
They have. They looked good last week.
but I think Stafford's done. Not like he just got hurt too much in Detroit. I don't think he's going to be around
This
much
is
longer.
last year. It feels like.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
who knows, man? Yeah, I don't bet this game.
Okay. Next up, we got Chiefs at the Raiders. This is Chiefs -9. Look, whenever the Chiefs lose, which is rare, they usually end up blowing out the team the next week. So I'm all in on the Chiefs on this. Raiders are starting that Mexican kid, right? O'Donnell. That's what his name is, right? O'Donnell or O'Connell, Delco?
Aiden O'Connell.
Okay. So that Mexican kid is starting here, and Chiefs will fucking roll. This, if you remember last year, this was the game where they did Ring Around the Rosie. Pocket full of Posey there. That's how much they don't care about the Raiders. But, yeah, look, they lost last week. It was embarrassing. I expect Kelsey to have a bounce-back game.
Well, they've lost 2 of the last 3 games.
Yeah. Who was the other one? Oh, the Broncos. Another game where they just didn't care. What a lazy fucking team. They'll win this week. They're not going 7-4. So you can put your fucking house on this. You taking the Chiefs?
No.
Really? All right.
9 points? No. They play 4 quarters of fucking football. I'm not going to bet the game because this is a huge rivalry game. I don't know how the fans show it. Like, I've been to this game in Oakland, and it's fucking wild, man. It's the only football NFL game I've ever seen a fight at, like a real fight, right?
Fulton County Stadium, I used to see a lot.
I don't know if it's going to be the case in Vegas. Like, there are a lot of Raiders fans in Vegas, but like
it's fun.
The crazy Raiders fans are either in Oakland or Sacramento or L.A., right? The cholos and shit that are just out there banging all the time. But it is a huge rivalry game. And if the Raiders win this, they're back to 500. They're 6-6, man, in a semi-weak fucking division over there. It's like this is the Raiders have to win this game to maintain their playoff eligibility, basically.
No, we're all done with the Raiders.
I don't think they're going to win, though.
Chiefs by a zillion in this game. I'm all in. Tickets, though, are expensive. Speaking of that rivalry, last fucking seat in the building is $250 a pop. That's a lot. Next up, all right, we're finally getting to a real game here. Jesus Christ, man, what a slog. Who knew me and Tom Brady were right? All right. Bills at the Chiefs. This is Philadelphia up -3.5. Who you got, D'Anthony?
I'll take. I'll probably buy a point and go Eagles 2.5.
Okay. For me personally, look, Eagles have been winning. I know by 7, and 7's fine here. It's another game where Josh Allen chokes, in my opinion.
Yeah, he'll find a way.
He'll find a way to lose this game.
He'll fucking spike himself or something.
Yeah, dude. I bet you this will be close for 3.5 quarters, and then he'll fuck it up somehow. And Eagles are coming off of a road win. I'm going to use air quotes on that because it didn't really feel like it. I think they didn't really feel like it, but I think beating the fucking brains out of the Bills will make them feel better. So therefore, I'm in on the Eagles this week. Next up. And I'm fine with this spread, by the way, at 3.5. Next up, it's Ravens at the Chargers here. Sunday night game. It's decent. We're finally have a decent game for the Sunday night game.
Yeah.
I didn't watch it on Sunday night.
Yeah, don't be surprised if Rex Ryan isn't coaching the fucking Chargers next year.
Does he want to?
He's in line for a couple of jobs, I hear.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Be real interesting.
Yeah,
there.
somebody's got to go there and fix this fucking thing. But yeah, Ravens 3.5. I'll probably do the same and take it to 2.5.
Ooh. All right. So I'm going to go with the theory that I've used every other week with the Chargers, right? They're shitty one week, and then they win the next week, and they win by a field goal. So even if they lose by a field goal, I still get that half a point. I'm going to take the Chargers in this one because Mark Andrews is out. And I don't know where that offense is going to come from on this team. That's their Travis Kelce. OBJ has not been great this year, so I think it's going to be tough without him, man. And this is a gut feeling. I'm going Chargers on this one with the points. I'm definitely taking the points. I'm not doing money line or anything else, but I will take the points. I think this is 3 either way. It wouldn't surprise me if the Chargers blew it and lost, by a last second field goal here. You betting this one?
Yeah, I'll take Baltimore -2.5.
Okay. Oh, you say you're buying a full point here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Last but not least here, the Monday night game. My God, man. My God. Bears, Vikings. Why? Why do we even have to play this?
Well, it's the one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL versus one of the up-and-comers, right? Josh Dobbs versus Justin Fields. I don't know.
I mean, this is Minnesota -3.5.
Like this was at no point during the preseason was this going to be a big game. It is a division rivalry, right? So that's something, I guess.
Yeah, but if you're the NFL schedule, you know the Bears aren't going to be good this year.
Yeah.
Like you knew that already.
That's what I'm saying, but it's still
the Vikings with Kirk Cousins. You probably thought, all right, Kirk Cousins, Justin Jefferson, because at that point, Dalvin Cook hadn't left.
Yeah.
You're probably thinking to yourself, all right, cool, man, but why the Bears? Like, I don't get it.
I don't know. I mean, Bills Eagles would have made a lot more sense here,
Yes.
but Eagles just played on Monday night, so I don't think there's a cap on how many times you can, but they definitely try to spread it out a little bit, just to hit the big TV markets. I mean, the Jets end up on Monday Night Football and Thursday Night Football a lot, even before Aaron Rodgers, just because it's the tri-state fucking TV market. Right?
Sure. For me, I think you go with some prop bets in this one. Have some fun. Justin Fields over 50 yards, things like that. Just like that listener did last weekend. That's fun enough. Betting on this actual game with Josh Dobbs in week 3 and a brand new team and offense and everything else, it's a lot to ask. Do they have a better defense? Yes. Could Fields pull it off? Yes. So for that reason, I don't bet it. I'll go player props on this one and just have some fun on a Monday night. Also, I usually drop $5K on that fucking Ohio State Michigan game every year. So it's like we'll see how that shakes out here for this Monday night bet. It's just what I do every year, and check back in on Drinkin' Bros Sports on Facebook. Not a lot of great NFL games. It's the talent now. So this is going to get more and more difficult as the years go on. I mean, as the year goes on, because you're going to have more and more injuries. So we'll see what happens here. Appreciate you tuning in, kids. Go to iTunes, rate the show 5-star, and leave a quick review. Also, head on over to Spotify. It's just a 5-star, and you can walk away at that point. Head on over to mybookie.com. Use that promo code Drinkin' Bros to double that first deposit. Bet with us or against us here. It's up to you. All right? Thanksgiving Day, great. Rest of these games, kind of dog shits. Not going to lie to you here. But there's a great set of college games to bet on. Check in with us tomorrow. We'll be live with a college football pick'em show for the weekend. Put your money on college this weekend. Maybe stay away from a lot of these NFL games. For D'Anthony Holloway, I'm Ross Patterson. This is the NFL Week 12 Pick'em Show. Good night, everyone.